DC Comics.
There was a time above.
Let me ask everyone a question. If every screenwriter grows up being told not to put narration in their movie unless it enhances the story, then why does every screenwriter put narration that doesn't enhance the story into their screenplays? For the third time in 3 Batman franchises, we get the dead parent origin story. I guess they did try to warn us at the beginning. Also, this is the type of theater that plays the 1940 film The Mark of Zorro, but also coming soon, because this is 1981 after all, Excalibur. Zach, the public has already seen Bruce Wayne's parents' death several times. Yes, but have they seen it in slow motion? Bruce falls into a hole that would kill most people, and he's not Batman yet, and yippee, the Batcave! If he wanted to steal the pearls, why'd he intentionally f*** up the necklace by pulling this gun bull? Now he'll have to pick them out of the rich people blood. Over goddamn use of slow goddamn motion. No.
Martha.
Remember this, it will become inexplicably and infuriatingly important later. Fucking what? Also, confidence-building bat tornado.
A beautiful lie.
Ben Affleck describes this movie in one sentence. Yep, no way the film could have started here. We definitely needed to rehash his parents' death in order to understand this. Totally. In the middle of all this bull, Bruce really thought it was a good idea to take a private helicopter into Metropolis for some reason. Here's Bruce Wayne landing in Metropolis and immediately getting into his private vehicle, a Jeep fucking Renegade, the very definition of a common middle-class vehicle. I see one of these things at every goddamn stoplight. Bruce Wayne would be driving a Tesla, or at the very least a BMW, but not a goddamn Jeep. Yes, this sequence of Bruce experiencing the carnage of Man of Steel's climax is interesting. It's also revisionist history by the man who took too personally the criticism that Man of Steel killed too many innocent people. So, whatever mobile network these people are using is apparently alien attack proof, and here I lose my signal when I'm under an umbrella.
I want you to get everyone out of the building, right now.
Jack decides just now is the appropriate time to evacuate. Makes you think he has to ask Bruce's approval to go to the bathroom. Bruce Wayne alone running into the fray while everyone else panics? Yeah, even in a movie this shitty, I'm duty-bound to remove sins for something so badass.
Mr. Wayne! I can't feel my legs.
Do you think? Also, good f***ing eyesight to spot Mr. Wayne at that distance in a dust cloud. This guy's trapped underneath one single girder. Like, a whole building just fell, and apparently the only rubble is a lot of dust and a couple girders. In the middle of a dust cloud, from ground level and without any visual enhancement gear on, how the hell can Bruce clearly see these two fighting? He barely saw the girl right next to him. Little girl who lost her mother stands here waiting for Bruce Wayne hugs, because she knows how close the Wayne logo sign is and how cool a shot it'll make. Hans Zimmer's finger gets stuck on the Dom button. The somewhere is implied by simply saying it's the Indian Ocean. All it takes to get the most precious element on Earth is a couple freedivers with a motorboat and a dream. Is it ever explained how this Kryptonian vessel full of kryptonite crash-landed in the Indian fucking Ocean? Also, kryptonite, in case you confused it with Nairobi Judd. Oh hey, it's Jimmy Olsen, the grounding moral center in this universe of superhero pretense. Man, I really hope he gets a lot of screen time. Somehow they're going to be able to blame Superman for all these headshots, because if there's anything Superman needs, it's a gun. Superman shows up out of nowhere, because I guess he can sense when Lois is in danger. And don't give me that he was following the beacon crap, because if he was really interested in all this, he'd already be there.
The world has been so caught up with what Superman can do that no one has asked what he should do.
This is a direct ripoff of Jeff Goldblum's Jurassic Park quote, and the writer should be ashamed. Ah, if I had a nickel for every time I fingered a bullet while naked. We'll just assume Clark took his phone out of his pocket before this, because otherwise Superman is addicted to smartphones.
I don't understand.
Even in a different language, the pronoun game never ceases to hilariously confuse. I mean, how do you build this luxurious bachelor pad without skilled contractors who you then either need to pay off or kill? My biggest issue with any Batman story, actually. Someone explain to me how Alfred and Bruce alone designed and built this shit, please.
Funnel Fairy Butter Bar, Funnel Fairy Butter Bar.
Funnel Fairy Butter Bar must be the English equivalent of sibilance. Feels like Bruce would have been wise to Superman and his secret identity long ago, being the best detective in the world and all, but this movie would have you believe that Wayne really only got interested in this guy after he helped destroy a whole city. Maybe these eggs would be in better shape, but holy shit, do you have a wall of wrenches and tools just off the kitchen and behind the TV and next to your upside-down bike? Jesus, are you Matthew McConaughey?
The first victim, an accused child predator, later was assaulted in prison. Many believe the mark of the Bat brand in prison, essentially, is a death sentence.
What a bunch of bullshit. Someone can make that observation after that huge sample size of one person got beat up in prison? And don't child molesters usually get beaten in jail anyway? I smell manufactured tension. Welcome to LexCorp, which apparently rebuilt Metropolis in 18 months based on tons of money, hard work, and either the dragon tears of unicorn angels or the aliens from Jupiter ascending. Nerdy Lex is introduced, being nerdy on the basketball court, yet still nailing a three-pointer like Steph Curry. I hate this fucker already. Finally, a movie puts so many newspaper headlines and stories in one shot, and with such tiny print, I don't care to actually go digging for mistakes. Touché movie. I'm glad this guy helpfully underlined and boxed mentions of Superman on these newspaper headlines, or else he might have gotten them confused with articles about Captain America or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Superman statue does not depict Superman twisting Zod's neck, but I guess that's kind of hard to carve in rock.
Ken,
Your sports today.
Because newspaper writers play musical chairs with the kinds of stories they write on a daily basis.
Headline: End of love affair with man in the sky.
Perry White's editorial style is to literally dictate headlines to his writers and ask them to write stories that match. You know, I like Jesse Eisenberg, but this Lex Luthor is too Jesse Eisenberg. Is that a kryptonite scalpel? How does Lex know he needs a fingerprint? Who the knows? He just knows. 9.5 weeks. Looks like basically everyone has been breaking Fight Club's first 2 rules.
Crime wave in Gotham. Other breaking news. Water. Wet.
Okay, Perry White is basically just a dick, dismissing a story about a vigilante in Gotham as completely unnewsworthy while asking for an update on a story about football. Why can't both stories be interesting to the public?
I'm blocking the import license for your mineral.
Something I could have just called to tell you.
You can call me whatever you like. Take a bucket of piss and call it Granny's peach tea.
Aside from being a fantastically stupid line, it's made even worse by only being here to give us some kind of supposed payoff later at the hearing. But most of all, what the f*** does that even mean? Are you the bucket of piss in this analogy? Also, surprisingly, Granny's Peach Tea was the only company that turned down the promotional tie-in with Batman v Superman. Oh, this is a dream. In any other movie, the slow motion would have served as a warning. Second dream sequence is necessary to show how f***ed up Bruce is, but including yet another jump scare is necessary to show what an asshole this movie is.
You know, with balls like yours, you belong in here.
That's racist.
Well, Bruce Wayne can't break into Lex Luthor's house.
Bruce Wayne won't have to. He's been invited.
How fortuitous, and not as exciting. A movie that would have been much better than this is given mere Easter egg treatment, because that's fun.
Who's that?
Seriously? Clark Kent does not know who f***ing Bruce Wayne is? Get the f*** out of here. This room that no one should enter is easily accessible by simply pushing open the door.
Thought the bathroom was down here. I must have...
Bruce Wayne dares to try this, and she pretends to believe it, and Bruce seems to think he got away with it, all of which is ridiculous. After following him and checking on him and hearing his flimsy-ass excuse, this Luthor security chick leaves him alone in the computer room. What the f***? I like how Clark heard Bruce's radio communications, but did nothing to investigate it. Superman is lazy.
Bruce Wayne meets Clark Kent.
Lex Luthor knows why this would be a momentous occasion, but God help you if you want an explanation for why he knows what nobody else does.
Ow! Wow, that is a good grip. You should not pick a fight with this person.
Again, I have no idea if it was the script, the director, or the actor who decided this character needed to be this far over the top, but it was a bad decision. Okay, she took his thing and obviously wants him to know, because she hangs around to get caught staring at him right outside the door. But then she leaves without telling him anything. So what gives? This is whack-ass behavior. Superman Jesus.
90% of people believe in a higher power. And
I'm gonna need a source on that statistic, dude.
on this earth, every act is a political act.
Even twerking? International blogger. Are there no journalists and experts left in this reality willing to go on cable news? Or is this the movie just giving the finger to the internet community that dislike Man of Steel? I'm glad Superman saved these astronauts, but this scene is really pessimistic about the state of space travel and successful rocket launches, no? Using Neil deGrasse Tyson for your own personal projects. This family literally managed to get to the roof with their bodies and some white paint, and that's it. No sandwiches or nothing. And while I'm not sure that one can of paint would be enough to paint this giant-ass Superman logo, I'm more concerned with the logic these people used. Hey, there's a flood. Everyone get to the roof, and someone grab some paint so we can make a giant Superman logo on the roof that if he somehow happens to be in the area saving lives, he won't miss. Again, another instance of a cool storyboard trumping logic in a Snyder film. Then Superman f***ing hovers for a few seconds, doubtless confused by the huge white logo, before actually saving these poor assholes. This guy, who just got thrown in jail for defacing the Superman statue and making terrorist threats, gets to have a meeting with the senator instantly without any security.
This copy all right, but nothing about football.
Even though it is ridiculous Clark was told to write about football, and he's doing the right thing by writing about the Gotham Bat, this should have gotten him fired.
Nobody cares about Clark Kent taking on the Batman.
He's right, they care about Superman taking on the Batman, of which this movie titled Batman v Superman has very little.
Is it stealing if you steal from another thief?
Yes. Bruce Wayne's decryption software moves at the same pace as my YouTube uploads. Luckily, this decryption will last just long enough for a wholly fucking unnecessary third 4-minute Batman dream sequence. Guy with a gun has a clear shot at Batman here, but decides instead to run up to Batman to shake his hand, I guess? Just to clarify, Batman is knocked unconscious during his own dream. And when he wakes up from that dream, he's going to have another cryptic dream about a visitor from an unknown future. Movie is seriously trying to outdream Inception. I'd just like to know how Bruce is hallucinating the Flash right now, giving him important information and advertising the standalone movie all at once. Does Bruce have soothsaying powers? Bruce's nightmares lasted exactly as long as his computer's decryption process.
Race, and if we believe there's even a 1% chance that he is our enemy, we have to take it as an absolute certainty.
Math is not one of Bruce's strong suits.
Where does he go?
Why do you continue to employ him? Batman harpoons this car, which he will drag around for a little while until knowing exactly how to unhook it, so that it will land on another car hiding behind a trailer, something he definitely knew was going to happen when he harpooned the car in the first place. Superman, who definitely knew some shit was going down here tonight, didn't bother to simply talk to Batman before all this started. Essentially, you're telling me he's omniscient enough to be here, he's omniscient enough to save a rocket from an explosion for Christ's sake, but decided to enter the scene at this very moment because it's better for the drama. Also, why not do this out of the gate, instead of spending weeks or months investigative journalisming Batman as Clark Kent? It takes an hour and 4 minutes for Batman to v Superman. In a much more realistic feeling movie, this Batcave entrance will somehow top Burton and Schumacher for silliness.
How do we determine what's good?
A question the makers of this movie clearly never asked themselves. Superman visits Kansas at the perfect time the world's planetarium is open.
Somebody wanted Superman to look guilty.
I'm still not sure how blowing away a whole bunch of dudes with special bullets is supposed to implicate Superman. This whole story reeks of bullshit.
But how could they know that he'd show up in the middle of the desert?
Lois asks a very good question that is never answered. In fact, the only thing she's concerned about in this revelation is that Superman is going to show up at the Capitol building, and she suspects something's about to go down. But the how does Superman know to show up in the right place question is better left answered by other movies in the Justice League franchise once the screenwriters come up with a good enough excuse. How did he know when she'd spot the label on her glass to be able to time this bomb blast? You know, it's not that Superman is angry, it's just that he's disappointed. Movie skips over what would have been a much more entertaining Batman breaks into LexCorp scene to give us Superman walking through the Capitol into a courtroom. How does Lex know there's a pool of water ooze on this ship? And how does he know standing in it not only won't kill him, it'll do something amazing to the body of Zod? Lex is omniscient enough that I wonder why he struggles against Superman and Batman at all, actually. Even though he got in the front door using Zod's fingerprints, Lex only has to press his own palm on the receiver to get the ship to respond. It's telling that Bruce's CrossFit routine is the fourth most enjoyable part of this movie. Bruce is a dick to weights.
Alexander Luthor, your security override has been accepted.
But why? I feel like this movie has skipped over some integral parts of storytelling here. Just accept this, just accept that. You came here to make Doomsday? Fine, we'll help you do that. This water-based Kryptonian f***ing Star Trek replicator of all knowledge and science? Yeah, f*** it. F*** it hard. I really hate it, and it's stupid that it exists, and even stupider that Luthor figures it all out. F*** it. So, with a little bit of Luthor's blood mixed with Zod's dead body and some sort of DNA pool of justice, Lex will be able to make a monster out of it. Who knew that a spaceship had this kind of ability? Why would a spaceship have this kind of ability? This set of Superman movies is obsessed with dead fathers giving Clark advice.
I miss you, son.
No, you don't. You're dead. Why doesn't Superman have the same in-trouble radar for his mom that he seems to have for Lois? Yeah, I'll set my bat booby trap right here, blocks if not miles from the start of my fight with Superman, because I know for a fact I can direct the fight back to this spot for a whammy. Ladies and gentlemen, Gotham and Metropolis are a mile apart. You're welcome. Also, it is just across the bay, but while Gotham is having torrential rain and storms, the weather in Metropolis is just fucking peachy. Lois in danger in the Middle East? Or later in this climax when trapped in a box? Superman hears it above all the noise of the world. Lois is kidnapped, Superman hears nothing.
Euclid's triangle inequality, the shortest distance between any 2 points.
Have I mentioned how much I hate this version of Lex Luthor? Because I do. Spewing random shit does not equal menacing. Also, FYI, we are right at the start of the film's climax with still an hour left to go. Oh look, he can hear her falling, but he couldn't hear her being kidnapped the last 30 minutes of her life. What a selective power. Superman just leaves Lois here.
What we call God depends upon our tribe, Clark Joe.
Superman lets Lex talk long enough for Lex to reveal he's got Clark's mom, instead of just obliterating him instantly, as he should have and would have really done.
God versus man.
Oh, come on.
Martha, Martha, Martha.
Do I consider this Martha, Martha, Martha foreshadowing, considering what comes later? Brady Bunch foreshadowing? Really? Also, Lex goes to the trouble to make individual Polaroids because scrolling through pictures on his phone would take too long.
Mercy!
Don't you know? I mean, you seem to find Lois no problem. Do you only have a homing beacon on her? LexCorp knew to make these files almost like teaser trailers. It's amazing their marketing department. Looks like Miles Dyson still hasn't learned his lesson about not creating Terminators, even after he died in the second movie.
And forget the heliport. Put it on the goddamn roof.
Okay, even though it's weird that the helipad isn't already on the roof, what difference would it make?
Here I am.
Let's talk about Batman's plan. Sure, Superman told him,
next time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to it.
There are numerous problems with this, though. First off, did Bruce forget that Superman was in hiding after the Capitol building bombing? Did he really think their petty squabble was going to lure him out? Second off, this plan wasn't even going to work until Lex kidnapped Martha and told Superman to go fight Batman. There's an alternate history of the movie where Batman lies in wait for Superman and he never shows up. Like that date I had in college, and we had plans, Melissa!
Bruce!
When did these assholes learn each other's secret identity? Was it at the party? Did they just assume? But here's the rub. Lex Luthor also has to know that both Superman and Batman know each other's secret identities for his plan to work. If Lex tells Superman to kill Batman, and if Batman isn't lying in wait for Superman at this moment, then Superman has to find Bruce Wayne, and that's if he knows Batman is Bruce. That's a lot of ifs.
You don't understand.
You will find that Superman will waste a lot of time with the listen to me's and you don't understands, instead of just saying what the problem is. Not sure what these machine guns were supposed to do, but wow, shiny, excitement. Oh good, more of this shit. Ah, kryptonite, the unfortunate repetitive writer's crutch that plagues nearly all Superman movies. How much does this mist diminish Superman's powers? We have no idea and are never told, though it's safe to assume it's enough to make a Batman-Superman fight viable, which I would think would mean a lot. If he's this debilitated by the kryptonite gas, just kill his ass right now. What are you waiting for? Oh yeah, that kryptonite gas, it wears off apparently, even though it's completely inside Superman's lungs. But even though it wore off, Batman can stop Superman? I'm confused. The Wayne, in pain, chooses mainly to complain. Oh look, Batman was totally able to lead the battle to this spot, even though that's goddamn impossible. It might be the stupidest thing in this movie, which is saying something.
You're letting him kill Martha!
God damn it. First off, who calls their mother by their real name in this situation? This is maybe the biggest sin in the whole movie. Second off, god damn it, because Clark and Bruce both have mothers named Martha, Batman decides to let Superman live. And god damn it, third, Martha is a common name. Martha is a common name. You're telling me that at the mere mention of Martha, Batman gets all sentimental? Martha Farkers! Yeah, we know. We heard Thomas the Comedian Wayne say Martha out loud earlier in the movie. We saw the earlier dream sequence, this movie's 17th such occurrence, where it showed Martha Wayne's tombstone. We know his mother's name is Martha. Get on with it. Just in case this movie isn't long enough for you, we got a recap of the first 5 minutes.
Why did you say that name?
Exactly.
It's his mother's name!
It took Lois Lane to fly here in a helicopter for some reason to finally tell him that. Really, that's Lois's only function for flying out here is for stupid like this. But don't worry, it gets stupider.
Luther, he wanted your life for hers.
Now that they fought, Superman suddenly comes up with the words he could have easily said before all the fighting started. Hot damn, this is f***ing Batman. I'm removing 3 sins for this movie understanding Batman action better than any previous, even though that's not nearly close enough to save this film's final sin total.
I'm a friend of your son's.
I figured. The cape?
This is the only moment of levity in the entire film, and that makes it worth a sin of omission. A character I respect suddenly turns stupid and throws this crypto spear into this water, thinking that over time no one will ever find it, and so that the movie will have an ex machina once Doomsday shows up.
The devil will do it.
This is some convenient-ass timing here. He just found out his original plan failed, but his backup plan is literally 3 seconds from powering up.
The blood of my blood.
Superman just stands around while he waits for Luthor to do the next thing, instead of throwing him around the world 50 times, or just taking him to jail.
Born to destroy you.
But how? You just cut yourself and put Zod's body in. Oh, what the f*** do I care? Let's just get this over with already. Oh good, more of this
Thankfully, the workday is over and the downtown core, it's nearly empty.
Bull. It's funny how this movie in Civil War suddenly started caring about all the destruction their heroes were causing, and then started making absolutely sure, even though it's impossible, that no one or hardly anyone is in the area. Wonder Woman is getting on a plane and sees the super fight on the news, but no airplane I've ever been on gave me live television on the monitors prior to takeoff, so this is some bullshit. And this doesn't even look like first class.
Stryker's Island, east of Metropolis.
That's uninhabited.
Of course it is.
I'm saying it's unkillable.
And I know that because I'm sitting in an office and we've tried one thing to kill it.
I gotta get it to chase me. Back to the city. Back to the kryptonite.
Or you could just fly there, get it, and fly back. Either way, really. But go ahead with your he has to chase me plan. I sure am glad they rebuilt Metropolis, so that Doomsday can destroy Metropolis. Who knew? Wonder Woman's bracelets can stop all the Doomsday Kryptonian laser beams in the world, even when the total area of said lasers eclipses the area of said bracelets. Also, Wonder Woman Ex Machina. She just got off the plane, was able to dress up, get to the scene, and know exactly what to do just in time. Also, the fight Wonder Woman saw was happening in Metropolis, and this is now happening in Gotham, so f*** you, movie. Even though Lois has no idea who Doomsday is, or what he does, she gets the bright idea that maybe they need that crypto spear after all.
Why did you bring him back to the city?
The port is abandoned.
Yeah, everywhere is abandoned, we get it.
She with you?
I thought she was with you.
Really, Bruce? You've seen her and interacted with her a half-dozen times at this point. What is this line except scripted hilarity that doesn't square with the script? And despite numerous heavy pieces of architecture falling down in this pool with Lois, she survives this. It's actually hard to believe, after seeing Wonder Woman's shield and bracelets perform miracles, that she doesn't have a weapon that can just end this fool. This movie. Superman can't just javelin this thing into Doomsday's heart. He has to crash into him to do it, so that the movie can have its fake death scene. Oh no, Superman is dead. I hope I can last until the next movie when they revive him and move on. Could this possibly be the most insulting part of the movie? The guy who looks like Superman with glasses died on the same night as Superman and still no connection? Can we even get a Steve Buscemi scene where he's living in an apartment surrounded by video screens, soda cans, and beef jerky where he makes the connection? I mean, Jesus. It's a movie funeral, so definitely add some bagpipes, because Superman was so Scottish and such.
I failed him in life.
Actually, you ended up not killing him like you had planned. Then when you promised to save his mom, you did that too, in spectacular fashion. So you're good here, bro.
We can do better. We will.
Just not with this movie. I guess either Batman got permission from the warden to do this electric light show and dramatic branding thing he's about to do, or he just knocked out the guards to do it. Either way, this is some pretty unbelievable
He's hungry. He's found us.
Who the You know what? There's no way Lex had yet another monster in mind after making Doomsday and coming up with the plan to get Batman and Superman to fight. You know that last 10 minutes you just went through trying to make us think Superman was dead, especially when you're trying to set up a Justice League movie? Yeah, that was a total waste.
I'm not dead.
What? Nothing. Here's your ninepence.
I'm not dead.
Here. He says he's not dead.
Yes, he is. I'm not.
He isn't? Well, he will be soon. He's very ill.
I'm getting better.
No, you're not.
I can't stay down here, Alfred.
As I was going to St. Ives, I met a man with 7 wives. Every wife had 7 sacks. Every sack had 7 cats.
Okay, sir, you're a Lebowski, I'm a Lebowski. That's terrific.
Are you a god?
What? It's just that the last time this was here, it was being signed.
Who are you working for? Rise, how cool is dead.
Their mission: to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
A close